Yo, what's up? This is your boy Z Energy God, and we back, and we finna talk about the spiritual aspects of the relationship and 2023, what these ladies need to know and what these guys need to go know as well. Because some of these relationships out here is pretty dead broken, and they don't have a clue on what's going on, and they need to be spiritually tuned in with their goddess and trying to find out and elaborate on something. So I got a special guest, and her name go by K Goddess. She's in the building. What is your input on these new relationships for 2023?
For 2023, the new relationships really need to stay strong. Everybody should just maintain and stick together as one.
That's real. Because a lot of guys out there be trying to find out and pick the woman on how to go about, and also trying to like zero in on their energy.
You saw zero in on energy. I mean, guys been doing that for many, many years.
Yeah, that's true. Because it put it like this, because a lot of women is pretty much low aspect to a man's masculinity because they don't know how to open up and how to connect, because a lot of these guys it's really kind of like a big triangle because it's dead broken, but we need to attend to the love
The
frequency. And
only reason why the guys can't connect to the woman is because they either don't take the time out to learn the woman like they supposed to, per se.
yeah,
But you got a lot of men out there running around, but they don't have enough time to sit and to concentrate on one woman because there's so many women that's a distraction to them.
yeah,
You
that is true. That is true because it's a lot of distractions out there, big
Yeah, because you got a lot of
yeah.
beautiful women. I mean, it's a lot of distraction. I mean, it's like putting a dog out there in a big litter box, and then you got a bunch of cats running around. That's very beautiful.
But on a spiritual aspect, what does a woman need to know and what to do as far as like learning on how to be spiritually tuned with the man and herself? Because this shadow work
But
have to be
first
done
of all,
involved too as well.
they both got to get on the same page. They got to have an understanding of each other's do's and don'ts. What makes them happy? What makes them sad?
Hmm.
What agitates them? Can they overcome all of the obstacles that are placed in front of them? They have to be able to do all of those things.
Yeah. 2023 gonna bring some amazing results for a lot of people, but they have to be patient. Because if you don't have the patience, you no longer be on that criteria, because a lot of people be failed out and shut with the door in their face because they don't realize how much of a person they have, because a lot of women out here is pretty much confused when they have the right in their life, because the right in your life can sometimes be your abundance and your warrior.
I mean, it's not just the women that's confused. It's a lot of men and women that's confused. You can't just characterize women. You feel what I'm saying? You do both. Both men and women have the wrong aspects of each other, and they both, in order to get it right, they have to come to the understanding and the agreement that they're going to do right by themselves. And
Hmm.
the person that's next to them that's trying to be them.
Yeah, truly, I truly believe that. But as far as like, you know, what is the best results for a woman to achieve her greatness with a her companion?
Well, for one thing, the best thing is loyalty and respect. How you go about doing it. Like, you don't do nothing to provoke a man's ego. If a man sitting there and y'all sitting there arguing together and things of that sort, you should be able to come upon an agreement instead of having an argument. See, can you compromise a little bit with each other and meet each other, halfway on certain things in life?
I agree too because it's all about the communication. Not only
Uh,
that, the communication plays a big part in relationships. You know what I mean? As far as like them opening up and opening all things to the front of the relationship. If they can do that, they can pretty much open up a lot of doors and a lot of ways for them to gain more like passionate like romance, and not only that, be on a journey to like their life and their life goals, because that play a part in the big family and the family house.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have to compromise. Y'all two have to come together as one. Not one person think one way and the other person think the other way. But if y'all can meet each other halfway on certain things in life, you'll get very, very far. And then even though you two may argue, like you got some that'll argue with a woman and then they'll just storm out of the house with another woman. And then that's the same as a woman. Like she'll get in an argument with a man, storm out, and get with another man. I mean, y'all should be able to, sit aside for a minute, let it die down, and then come back together and try to compromise with each other. That's how you make the power couple.
Okay, what is your message to the women that's out there that's going through the rough relationship, being abused, and also in the corner, being feared by that man? They're
Well,
in a wrong
first
environment, you know.
first of all, if you're fearing a man, that means that you're not on that type of energy level because it's other women out there that can contain that type of energy that certain man have. That mean that man does not fit with you.
Hmm.
That mean you can't never get with him. So therefore, you two should never be together. He have to get with a woman that matches his energy. That mean that your energy does not match. It's not gonna compromise. You got a
Yeah,
lot of women that does that. They get with men with higher expectations, but they overpower the woman, and it should never be that. Y'all should be able to connect hand in hand instead of,
spiritual.
and then the abusive part. I don't condone that really because me personally, I don't like it when a man puts his hands on another woman, but that's a big story. And I also don't like when a woman places herself in a man's position where she will get hit. But should no woman do that? Cause I mean, you got some women that can outpower a man, some men that where for sure that they can outpower a woman. But at the end of the day, neither one should never be fighting each other.
At all. I
Yeah.
don't condone that neither, because some men out there really taking advantage of the situation. But karma will come back and affect your ass. Karma will put you in place. Not only that, because the energy that you put into a relationship is it's supposed to be the most loving and the most high energy out of this world. Once you can transcend this energy in your relationship, everything else in that whole year will be abundance. Even if you were married, or even if you in a solitary
Yeah.
small relationship, trying to see eye to eye, and the communication levels trying to balance it out, because that's what some people really need.
Well, you got men and women that are abusive that are like that. Like you got some women that hold a man down and they abuse them, and then you got some men that hold women down that abuse them. That's either because they out there doing things that they're not supposed to do, or they're already in a relationship with another person. They just don't want the other person to find out, so they have to dumb them down to their level to where they can control them. It's considered as control. And that same type of energy that they use to control that person, they should use that energy to control their life forms.
Yes. And some men need to really realize that the woman is the first and the most highest of the land. Because if you were to put energy and downgrade a woman and put a lot of pressure, that karmic energy will gonna hit you tenfold to 100 blasts. And that energy,
Tell you like this: a woman, for a woman to take that type of position, she have to come into her power and know who she is, so that
yes,
step in, woman can conquer that part and know who she truly is in her true form. She can become a powerful woman, more powerful than the average person or average man that's out there.
agree. Cause I truly believe that there's a lot of good relationships out there, but a lot of people got broken hearts and broken, like, you know, pressure on a
Well,
self,
it's
so to
not
speak.
about a lot of broken hearts and broken pressure. It's just that people uphold a certain image because they thinking that the next person is always doing it. Because they got a set trend that's out there. Those are considered as followers.
Being
But
programmed by the
once you
music.
become
Yep.
a leader and a god in God form, you can become one with self. And once you one with self, you become the most powerful person walking. And you know what you're looking at. You know what your goals are. You'll know how to read a person before they even present themselves in front of you.
Yeah. I truly see that. Because I do know from, like, being in certain relationships, it can have, it had its boundaries and it have its ups and downs, but you have to pretty much be patient at times. A lot of people don't even have patience, and if you don't have patience, then you not gonna get to point A and B and C because you want it that particular way. And it should not be that way. You have to be open. You have to be very smart about how you taking these moves, because these moves can be very energetic to you.
I mean, some people can have patience all day, but at the end of the day, they still don't know how to operate their life. You, you you can have patience all day and still don't know how to operate your life. But
Yeah.
the thing is that you have to know who you are as a person and love yourself. You put yourself first, and then you'll be able to put another person in another position to love their self and love you at the same time. And once those people come together and they know their self and self knows them, they'll be able to become their true person and whom they are, and they won't have no worryation about what's on the outside or trying to find the next woman. Because, like I told everybody else, going to a new man, a new woman, you always have to start over and over and over and over again. But guess what? You don't have to do those things when you could just learn that one person. That means that you're not loving yourself and you're not loving the person next to you, because the person next to you don't even love themselves neither. So how are you to love anyone?
Mm-hmm. Especially, you have to start with yourself too. You have to start with, like, loving yourself. Once you can get over that little cradle shadow work and you learning yourself, and I think everything else will press together. Because too many people be worried about, like, what's ahead, and they not really worried about what's now. But the earth energy is actually changing and they're actually growing, and
When
some women are already
the
attached
act
to this energy.
worried about sex, they worry about sex, they worry about money, the wrong things to worry about. You can't worry about sex, you can't worry about money and stuff like that. You need to worry about working on yourself and dealing with yourself and your antics and your flaws, and then dealing with the other person and their antics and their flaws, and then you'll have everything. It's not about the money, it's not about the cars, it's not about what nobody can give you. It's about you living your life.
Your best life, because you should be when you living your best life. A lot of people actually should be living their best life, but they not. Too many people got so much fuckery going on in their life and don't really realize it.
You know, you got a lot of people that live out of their means right now.
Yep.
Don't even have to. You don't have to have the nicest car, the nicest house, and all that other stuff. You can just have yourself and knowing that you got a roof over your head, you're able to feed yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to have. And then knowing that your kids wake up every morning, everybody's good.
Yep. And you know what? And the thing about it in a relationship, and it's the realization of love, because the love is the most powerful thing in the external universe, and a lot of people don't even think about it because they too much living above the negative, but that negative will actually turn into a plus. And not only that, but as far as like, the relationship, like a lot of men is pretty much being tied down to the wrong women, and
It's
some
not
women out there
that
is taking
wrong
advantage of these men.
woman. Those men are drawn to those women, whether you know it or not, for a reason. It's because the woman is in connection with that man. It's just the simple fact that they don't take the time out to communicate to learn each other because they're too busy looking at one thing, and that's sex. They
Hmm.
look at sex and having babies and making money, and you can't do that.
But you know what? The thing about it, when I failed to realize that this Earth environment, Earth is very like these energies and emotions is like a big attachment to a lot of people. It's frustrating, but a lot of people don't know this shit can get suicide at times. But the relationship as a standby and a man that's actually abide by and trying to do the right things and trying to calculate and trying to make sure his situation is good, his family is good, because he got to pour in the goodness inside the house. If you don't pour in the goodness inside the house, then the house will be ruined from the ground up,
Like
what you
let's
done
say,
built.
let's per se say like a woman works right, but that man don't work, but he feel less of a man. But really, to be honest and truthful, he's more than a man if he's staying at home, taking care of his children and everything else. That's a big role to play. Because when you playing mama and the girl's playing man for a little while just to provide for her house because she know that her man can't do it, it's a big thing. You have to take your time out to do these things.
Yeah, I agree, because this 2023 should be a abundance year for a lot of people, and it should
Uh-huh.
be a lot of good health and a lot of good results and a lot of bad situations turn to a plus.
Yeah.
So a lot of people gotta take out that meaning of them doing bad. Say, I'm gonna do good this year. We gonna live good. We're gonna have abundance. We're gonna have this. If you think that way and you command those words to your situation, you command it, it's gonna happen. You have to believe in it, you have to have faith in it. Same way you've been on the knee and pray to the wrong God, but this is what you have to do in your relationship.
Yeah, but you two have to, like I said, have respect for each other, and then learn how to abide by each other's do's and don'ts.
Yeah,
But like I said, in order for you to step into 2023, you need to step into 2023 with nothing but love.
yeah.
So
That's a fact. What's your closing statement for like the women out there for 2023? Closing statement, like them
they need
being
to
having a good
stop
year.
downsizing men just because they don't have money. Stuff that we not, the stuff that's considered the root to all evil.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we finna close on out. I got Kagadas on here